Hey, hello guys, and welcome to today's tutorial. So we'll be learning how to make a simple carousel design using Photoshop for our Instagram handles. So this tutorial will feature simple and basic steps in making carousel designs, also some tips, tricks and some techniques you can use for your carousel designs, and also I'll be dishing out one or two advices when making a carousel design using Photoshop. Let's go right there. Okay guys, welcome to today's tutorial. The tutorial will be lengthy, but I will plead you to watch till the very end, because at every point in the tutorial different tricks and techniques will be released. So we'll be making a carousel design, but we will not be doing everything, like everything in the carousel design, because that could actually go crazy and take a whole lot of time. But there are some important parts we'll do. The purpose of this tutorial is to really show you the basic techniques in how to create carousel designs using Photoshop. The basic techniques, because over time some people have asked me, how do you create your carousel designs? Some of them kind of use Adobe Illustrator to create theirs because they felt it was easier since it has different layers, or different artboard. But yeah, am I showing you guys how to create carousel designs using Photoshop. It's super easy, trust me, super easy. So we'll get right into it. So before you make a carousel design, there are three questions you have to ask yourself. Question number one, how many slides will the carousel design have? So we'll be going back and forth our Instagram carousel, so we'll see all these things. So how many slides will the carousel have? So for this one, we have the first slide, second, third, fourth, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9 and 10. So the first question is, how many slides will our carousel have? And then the second question is, what's the platform we'll be uploading this carousel? Okay, for this tutorial we're uploading on Instagram. You could actually drop carousels on Facebook, but the way Facebook was built, it's not really fun dropping carousels there, but it's really fun dropping carousels on Instagram and also on Behance. Yeah. So then the third question we ask ourselves is, what is the size per slide? That means per slide, per this slide. What's the size? What's the width? And what's the height? What's the dimensions per slide? So when you ask yourself these three important questions, you can now kickstart making a carousel design. So the first question is, how many sides, how many slides will the carousel have? Which we answered this one, we said it's 10. Then the second question is, what's the platform? Which I said this for IG, Instagram. Then the third question is, what's the size per slide? Okay, so now we will now get into the quick measurements we will make in order to start our carousel design. So I'm back to Photoshop again. I told you I'll be navigating all through. So I'm back to Photoshop again, and you can see I'm having a kind of a wide document, and you ask yourself, what's up with all this wide document? This is looking crazy. And if you notice, I have too many layers that I grouped, but kind of like click some of the groups to expand, so you see how crazy it is. Too many layers. So what we will be doing is, before we just start making the actual carousel design, we now have to do some measurement. Don't be scared, this is not mathematics, this is not algebra. It's as simple as multiplication and addition. So we make some measurement before we now make our canvas size to start making our design. So let's talk about the measurement. Okay, so because we want to achieve a wide canvas like this. So, and if you remember, I told you that you have to ask yourself three questions: how many slides, the platform, and size per slide. So we're considering just two questions now for this: how many slides, then the size per slide. Okay, now if from what we counted, from the one we created, we needed 10 slides, and the size, because it's for IG, it could be a square, it could be 1080 by 1080, but let's not make work complicated for us. So we'll slash this guide and we'll use something very simple, 1000 by 1000. Now the simple thing we are going to do is this. Since it's 1000 by 1000 and this thing is calculated width times height, so what we are doing is we want to expand this width to occupy 10 different slides. It's not my cutting is not up to 10, but just you understand me. So what we are doing is that because we needed 10 slides and the size of the document is 1000 by 1000, but the 10 slides must have a wide width like this. So we'll times 10 to our width. That gives us 10,000. So the size of the document will be, or the size of the camera will be created for Photoshop will be a 10,000 by 1000 canva. Then when we create this, it becomes this long. So let's assume that these slides are actually 5 and the size is 1000 by 1000. Remember, width by height. So it simply means if we must get a wide canvas that has 5 equal sides, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it simply means we will times just our width with 5, because 5 is actually the slides we want. So that will give us 5000 by 1000, 5000 width and 1000 height. And these things are in pixels, please do not forget they are in pixels. So with all these jargons said, it is tiring to speak jargons, but with all these jargons said, let's get right into creating our carousel canvas and start up with our design. Now I want to create my canvas size, so come down here. Remember I said 10,000 by 1000, so I impute 10,000. Then this guy is already on 1000. Let's just leave the resolution as 72 so it will not be so heavy on our Photoshop, and it's also for screen. It's on a website on Instagram, so 72 resolution is good. Then I click on create. Now we have gotten that very wide canvas. Now the reason why we are making a wide canvas is so that we can make our carousel, then split it or cut this canvas into 10 equal size. 10 equal size. Now let's just unlock this layer. Then if you are not having these corners, these rulers and the corners, go to view, then come down to rulers and click on it. But because I'm having it, so once I click on it, it goes away. So you click on it, then it shows. You get. Now once I have my rulers on, let me just zoom into this guy. And yeah, okay. Now if you look at this top part, you see that this line is actually straight up to that 0. So it means this canvas is being measured with the ruler. So it started from 0, and if you now check to the end, you see it ended at 10,000. So the ruler is very accurate. So we can actually split this ruler 1000 pixels, 1000 pixels. That means 1000, 2000, 3000 till 10,000. The easiest way we can cut this canvas. What do I mean? Okay, so let me come back here. Then to put a ruler on your canvas, just come to the edge, click and drag. So the line follows you. That's the ruler line. So once you click and drag, let me pull this one out and do it again. I click and drag. You see, it comes on my canvas. So I could just slide this guy directly under the 1000. Perfect. So I have this one there under 1000. So it means I've created the first slide. So I'll do the same thing to 2000. I've created the second slide. So I'll speed up this video now and complete this process. Okay, I'm back from that ruler break. It's very boring to do. Okay, you asked me a question now. Does this actually mean that our Canva is already split into 10? Technically no, but measurement wise, yes, we now have 10 equal parts, but they are not yet splitted. If you export this file as a JPEG or a PNG or whatever, it's just one file. But towards the end of the video, we will now cut this file, so at that point you can upload it one per slide on your Instagram. Okay, that said, just as I said earlier, we will not be building the entire carousel as you saw on the Instagram handle. It will be tiring, it will take a lot of time. We only do the one of the part I call the important part of a carousel. Now listen to this. One of the things that make a carousel eye-catchy for people to come, click, to view or to read is the cover image, the first image you meet. Let's go back to Instagram. Now this image, okay, this image reads disgusting things some designers do, and you see a very angry emoji. That's wow, the heat is bringing smoke from its head. So the cover image usually draws people's attention in reading your carousel. So we'll be building the cover image, and the next slide after it, the next slide that gives it that free flow as a legit carousel. So we'll build these two slides. Then these other ones are just barely text, they are just texts. So everybody that uses Photoshop should be able to write texts. So we'll build the first two slides, then I'll drop different tips again towards the end of the video. So continue to watch while we quickly build these first two slides. So let's get back into our Photoshop. Okay, so we'll be creating the cover image right about now. So I also have the one I designed for the IG here. So we may be coming back and forth just to quickly look and replicate, making our work easier. But everything that was done here, I'll tell you the reason why. So we will not just replicate out of context, we replicate with a perfect understanding. Okay, so let's get back to this. So we'll be creating a gradient flowing from the first slide to the second slide, just like this, from the first slide to the second slide. But the gradient will not complete the second slide. So while the gradient is between two slides, is to give it that smooth transition between two slides. You get me? So that's the gradient we'll be creating now. So we'll create a new layer, choose our rectangle tool, and just come and pull this guy across like this, something like this. It's perfect. Okay, then I don't really fancy making gradients from here. I don't know why. Probably you do, but I don't. To make gradient, I don't know, it's not really free flowing for me. So I always like to go to FX. So you could follow me, you could make there, whichever is comfortable for you. It's all good. We have different ways to kill a bird. Okay, so choosing my gradient overlay, I come down to this guy, and if you use the new Photoshop, the latest Photoshops, you would have these different presets here. But in as much as I'll choose this preset, I'll still tell you the color code, so you can easily create yours, even though you use Photoshop CS or Photoshop 7 or whichever Photoshop you're using. So choosing the red gradient, the first red gradient here, then I'll come and select the first color here, then just delete this. I don't want that. Then I'm left with this one, and I could just take this guy to 45% location while leaving this one there. I think I still like that color. Then hit on OK. Okay, I was almost forgetting. So the color code, so the color code of this guy is CF436B. Then the color code for this guy is 1F1828. Okay, I hit on OK. This angle, I think I want something coming from that direction. Okay, then I hit on OK. That's created. Let's check. Okay, so let's flip that guy so the blue goes to that angle and the other guy comes. Okay, so I just hit on the reverse and it just reversed it for me. So I hit on OK. So that's perfect. So I actually needed something like the blue coming from here and sliding to this point, so I could also add up a file here that brings this red sweet design over here, so it could complement my emoji, because my emoji is actually angry, and this color here will not really depict the anger. So I added an extra file here that gave that red feel there. But I also liked this guy, this color, so I just needed that flow between them and added that red color to give my emoji that strong anger feel. You get me? So I'll be inserting my emoji first of all, my 3D emoji, before I now put that feel behind it. Okay, so let's insert the emoji. Okay, so I go to file, I go to place embedded. If yours is the old Photoshop, you only see place. I double click on my emoji. So just scale this guy up like this. I really need it to be big. Okay, that's fine. And just keep the emoji between two layers. Now, just as I said earlier, the gradient is actually to give that smooth transition. So the emoji is also to give that illusion that this document is one. So when you slide from the first layer to the other, it slides so smoothly. It gives you that illusion. Like this will be the first cover. So when you slide on Instagram, it just gives you that free flowing illusion, something like that. So that's the reason why it's in between. Okay, keep that guy like that. Let's just put the text. So we have the text, disgusting things designers do. Okay, let me just copy this text here, but I will still rewrite them there. Okay, so I pick my text tool, then just click and drag to create a border around my text. Then just paste that text and copy. Disgusting things some designers do. Stretch out this guy to get every text. Alright, then so that was the reason I brought the text. So I really know how to arrange this guy so it doesn't disturb my text much. Let me reduce him a little bit. And also, if you notice, the emoji is actually facing the right direction, and I don't really like that. So I want this emoji to face this left side, because that's where its focus should be, on the left side of because that's the cover page. So I click on the emoji, Ctrl T to transform, right click and say flip horizontal, better. So it's facing the side. This is where consigns it. I don't know what it was doing there, facing the other side. Okay, disgusting things some designers do. Now this text was typed with still fish font, and that was the size I used for this document though. Then regular, and the caning was -25. Note this guy selected here means that I typed this text in small letters or lowercase. You see, so I typed the text in lowercase, then I just flipped it behind this. Oh, that was a mistake. So I used this when I clicked it, flipped to uppercase. Okay, so the text were typed in white, pure white, FFFFF. Then this guy here was typed in yellow. So just pick this guy. You could pick here and just play around with this slider to get something nice like that. So that was what I did, nothing difficult. So I hit on commit. Alright, that's done. So let's quickly do the other things for our emoji now. Okay, so I made a floating background, floating shadow for the emoji. So under the emoji layer, under this emoji layer, create a new layer, pick the brush tool, come to our canvas, increase the brush size, drop down the hardness to 0 with the opacity on 100 and flow on 100. Increase the brush size. I'm pressing the shortcut, the bracket on my keyboard. Okay, so increase the brush size, then pick a color. Just pick this one. Don't worry, I'm still tuning that. Double click on it and just bring this guy down a little like this. Hit on OK. Now just damp your brush on your canvas like that. So select your move tool, then transform that damp you did using your brush. Then just hold shift on your keyboard if it's the new Photoshop. If it's the old Photoshop, you don't need to hold shift. Come to this edge and pull this guy down. Perfect, very perfect. Then just reposition this guy here. Don't put it directly on the emoji. I told you I want to make a floating emoji, so it's as if it's floating up. Ooh, magical. Okay, so that guy is perfect. Okay, so now let's just put that background that makes this guy red, like what we are having here. They will also put the steam and every other basic things. We're almost done. Okay, so let's put our red background and also our steam on our emoji. So for the background, be on the background layer where we have our gradient overlay. Then just create, you don't even need to create. Then just go to file and place embedded. So this is the guy here. It's actually a bouquet. I blur so very much. So commit this guy there. Then we'll use a blending mode. I think vivid light will do the magic for us. Then let's just reduce this guy. Then go to filter, blur and Gaussian blur. You really blur this guy so very much. Yeah, I think this is good. Let me see. Let's say 95 and hit on OK. Then let's rescale this guy. Just put this guy somewhere around here. Okay, let's see. Alright, okay, let's reduce opacity and fill. See if it gives us something much more smoother that transits well. Okay, I think I like the transition now. Okay, let's see the previous one. Alright, okay, so we'll just scale this one a little bit again. Then just slide this dark part out from our document so we have more of the red part in our canvas. Okay, much better now. Let me still scale again. Don't mind me, I like when things are actually very, very much perfect, but I'm not a perfectionist. Okay, I think I like this. Alright, so let's put the steam on top of the emoji. So we're on our emoji layer. Then just create place embedded. This is it. So it's actually on a black background, but Photoshop actually have some magic. So using our blend mode, we can quickly remove this black background. Over time, if you have been following some of my videos or some videos on YouTube, you see how people easily do this. So on our blend mode, just go down to either lighting, screen, color dodge, dinner dodge, or like that color. Any of them can do the magic for you. So let's see the one that fits for this perfectly. Okay, let's settle on screen. Let me see the one I used there. I think that should be screen. Yes, I used screen here. So let's settle for screen. It's good. Okay, let's just scale this guy a little bit up. Okay, so the anger is actually coming from the red part of the face. Okay, I think that's fine. Okay, what again is missing? Okay, let's just see. Don't mind me. Okay, and let me see if I will just reduce this guy a little bit. Okay, perfect. Now I think I like this. Okay, so I'll just quickly insert every other thing here, the brand, my brand name and logo, and also this guy here and these icons, then my social handles. Okay, so before that, let's just scale this guy down a little bit, and also the shadow, and let's just reduce this guy smaller. Let it just flow with our background. Okay, that's better now. Just pop in something like this for a guide. Okay, now let's quickly do the arrow under this guy. Just the arrow is not an icon, it's just a normal text. So pick your text to create a new layer, come down here on your keyboard, just press the arrow key on your keyboard, just to easy enough. Then give this guy a white. So that's just it. It's not an icon. Very simple. Okay. So for these social media icons, so I'll quickly pop them in. Sorry. So I have Facebook and IG. So this is the Facebook, just stay there. So let me bring up the IG also. Okay, that's the IG. So because this Facebook is having white inside the F, I don't really like that, because I'll change these colors to white. So on my Facebook layer, I pick my magic wand 2. So I just click on that and select all. Then just go to select and mask. Flip using Control Shift I. Remove this feather. Don't like that. Then take this guy back to 0. Okay, let me just move this guy a little bit. I'm seeing some pieces here I don't like. Okay, so I hit on OK. Alright, that is fine. So I click on layer mask and it takes that guy out for me. Okay, so which comes first? Okay, IG first and Facebook second. So I just pick this guy, go to FX, choose color overlay. Now watch very carefully. I'm changing this guy to white. So choose on this color, click on it and change this guy to white. Hit on OK and OK. Now for the Facebook, since I've done one for Instagram, I wrote on alternate Alt on my keyboard. Come to this color overlay, click and drag on Facebook. So Facebook automatically has that. So time to scale them down. So I could just pick this guy and okay, let me keep my ruler guide here so I'm on a perfect left alignment. So select the Facebook layer, also scale this guy down. Let me zoom in very well to get this closely. So the IG is bigger than the Facebook, so I'll just scale this guy up a little. No. Go back. So I could just put it on top so I get a better scale. You could use your scalers here, but trust me, I'm not ready for those guys right now. So I think this is perfect, and just slide to the right. Okay, so let's check. So it's perfect up and down. Okay, so it's not, the next thing is just to write my text there. Oh, okay, let me select the both of them, then group, call this social media, and just select and still scale them down a little bit. Okay, so this is where I now put my social media handles. If it's for you, you put your own social media handles. Don't go and put my own. If you put my own, that's your cup of tea. So the font I'll be using for this, I so like Montserrat. I don't know. That will help me. So let me just write something. That font is very big. Okay, official CEO designs. Let me delete this and just type normally without that. Something like this. Official CEO designs. Okay, then remove these capital letters, change this guy to Montserrat, then just expand this text a little bit. Okay, let me see. Okay, the art is not really necessary. If you like, then just increase this kenning. Okay, and scale this guy up. I think let me just put the art for just fancy sake. Nothing more. Okay, better. Just make this guy semi-bold so it can get a little bit attention down there. Okay, that's perfect. What again? Then my logo will be on top of here. But there's one thing yet I've not done to my emoji. I also added a little bit red glue around the emoji just to depict some much more anger. So on that, it's on FX layer style. So go to outer glow. Oh, there's a red there waiting for me already. So you could just pick a red color around and just play with your color swatch a little bit. Then just hit on something kind of brighter than that. Then okay, then play with your opacity, play with the size. Don't let it be too much. Then also reduce your opacity so it just flows better. You get me? Okay, I think I like that. So my logo, I will not be dropping that on the description bar because you will definitely use your own logo. So I will just insert that by copying it from since I already have that there. Just copy the entire folder, then come here and paste. So just position this guy top, relaxing on the top ruler and on the left ruler. So this guy is perfectly aligned. Then if you have any serious with mathematics, or if you really want to do some mathematics, when you check the distance between this guy and this guy, it should almost be the same distance between this guy and this guy. But I'm not yet to be measuring that, but let me try and be a little bit accurate. These things are important. These things are details. It's important you give into details so that your file can really balance so very much. I told you I like making things very perfect. Okay, I think I like this. This is very much perfect. So let's do the other side, the second part of this guy, the second part. Okay. So we have this icon and just a simple text. Please save this post. So I have that icon around, but let me just group stuff because very soon this whole layers will look so crazy. So the disgusting things some designers do and my arrow, I could just group that, call that theme. I like calling my biggest text theme. So that's its theme. Then social media is already grouped. Then my emoji, let me just group that from the heat to the emoji and to the shadow. Group that and call that emoji. I also like giving them colors. So I give the emoji yellow, give the theme a red, and social media whatsoever. Let it just stand out. So these other guys are our background. So just leave those guys. Don't worry, we don't have any business with them. Okay, so let's do the second page very quickly, or the second slide rather. So I insert that icon. At least you now know how to quickly change an icon from black to any color, or from whatsoever color to any color we like. So let me rename this guy. It's too long. Let me just call it save IG. Better. So I want to remove this white background. It's looking crazy. So I pick my magic wand tool and also click and click. So those guys are out. In case if you clicked and in case if this guy is going wonky, please leave me. In case when you clicked and you try clicking the other side and you lost your initial click, please come and select this guy that says add to selection, so you can add to all your selection. You get me? Now click on select and mask. Invert again, Control Shift I to invert selection, or you just go to select and click on inverse, Control Shift I or Shift Control I, whichever. Or Control should come before Shift because alphabetically C comes before S. I don't know, I don't care. So I think this setting is fine for it. Okay, let me just increase the shift. I'm having a little white. Yeah, I don't like it. Okay, I hit on OK. Then click on layer marks, and automatically that guy goes. And I think I used that yellow. So we could actually pick this yellow, pick a yellow from the emoji, whichever we like. So I go back to FX, color overlay, then just click on this white here and pick on this yellow. Sometimes stuff like this happen and it wouldn't want to pick the color we are choosing. Okay, let's match our yellow with our eyes, and I think that guy is perfect. I hit on OK and okay. In case since we are matching my eye, that's the color code over there. But if yours pick good and fine. Okay, so I'll just scale this guy down a little bit because it should not be calling too much attention to itself. Then I have this text over here. Okay, I think my initial one was much bigger than that. Oh, see that thing? I said it. So let's quickly get rid of this line up and down. So on this layer mask, pick your brush tool. On the layer mask, I can pick your brush tool, scale this guy, reduce your brush size, also add hardness. Yes, I don't want to waste time on I don't want to waste time on this, so scale this guy down. So just black selected on your foreground color, so click, come here, hold shift and click, so it eradicates that. So come here, click, come to the end, hold shift and click, so it does a straight brushing for you. We are done with that crazy guy. So we could just write our text. It's very easy to write. Let me just copy this one. Whoa, that is very minty. So let me just copy this guy and paste here. I'm becoming lazy nowadays, don't blame me, I'm very sorry. So I could just have that idea. Please select the both of them and put them in center. Oh, I was wrong, accurate. So we already have our 2 pages done very quickly. I think I want to scale this guy down very little, just a little bit, just a little bit. Okay, yeah, I think I like this now. Okay, so we're already done. We are done with our first 2 pages. As quick as that. Is that quick? I don't know, you tell me. Was that quick? Okay, so just as I told you, the cover pages are very important because it draws people's attention to your carousel. So every other thing here were just a repetition. I kept on repeating my social media handles across every page. That was why I grouped it, so I could just do copy and paste, copy and paste, copy and paste. So I just copied it and pasted it across every page except the last page where I put it around here. So same thing, you could just come to the social media, then right click and choose duplicate. I'm not saying any duplicate. Let's duplicate manual by ourselves. Shortcut Ctrl J. It cannot come and stress me right now. So I just transform and drag this guy to the next layer. So because my brown color is actually blue, so I made my blue across all layers. So that's the blue. Let me just pick that color code. Let me just pick the color code. What's wrong with things today? I don't understand. Like, what's wrong with things today? Okay. Wow. Okay, I will match that with my eye also. No, my eye is still functional. So I go to FX and say color overlay. Since everything wants to go against me, don't worry. I have eyes. Okay, that is perfect. So I could just duplicate this actual and Ctrl J and run it across all layer. Now mind you, I said this is the first slide. This is the first slide, and this is the second slide. Now the third slide starts from here. So this guy, let's move that guy out from that line. Should not be starting where the slide is, so should have some room to breathe. You get me? So it should have some room to breathe like that. So let's also remove this guy. We're already done with the ruler, so we'll not get ourselves confused with rulers everywhere. So should just have some rooms to breathe, some room. So I could just duplicate this across every other page, just like what I did on the main one. Okay, there's another illusion I did on this design. I gave this guy another color with an arrow pointing to the next slide. I give this guy another color, then the rest are just white. This is very basic to do. So being on this place, we just go back to this layer, our first layer, put a new layer there, pick our rectangle tool, then come here and just draw this guy like that. Choose a gray around here and hit on OK. That's very simple to do. Then also come to our shape also again and pick on polygon tool, create a new layer. Make sure your sides is on 3. We want to create a triangle, so click on our canvas and just click on OK. Don't worry. So that's our triangle, but we need the color to be same color like this, so that's the color there. Then just slide this guy to this edge, and you could just increase it so it does a better work around there. You see, so that's not difficult to do. So we could also duplicate this layer, Ctrl J, just slide this one under this layer here, then slide it out. Make sure it stops at this part, or you could even make it go a little bit so it just gives that illusion that it's continuous. Then double click on this and just use something brighter than the previous one. Move this guy back a little like that. Okay, I said this one should be under. Put that guy back where it was. Okay, so with that done, the next things we are doing is just typing texts, which I will not be doing that for the sake of not making this video so much lengthy, but everything has actually been done. Oh, you will be wondering, how did I do this? It's still the same technique. I did this same technique, just a text tool, and I changed the font to a kind of a playful font. Excuse me. Okay, I use a Nina CTT to get something like this. That's the font type. Okay, then this one I actually used my brush tool and brushed it on something like this, So you see, these things are not just difficult, it's just there. Yeah, so my brush tool, I picked a color around here. Okay, then my brush, with the node very small, just made something free flowing. Just reduce this flow a little, made something free flowing like this. That was what I did, something like that. So you could do the same. You could try something like this. It's just creativity. You could try something like this. Okay, let's see something like that on our own. We're on this guy. Let's copy this text, so we have a copy of this text on our own. So I excuse me, I copy this guy, then come to here and paste. Okay, so that's hard here. Then create a new layer with my brush tool selected. Let's just play with some crazy styles, some creativity. So let me just reduce this guy, and I could just do something like this. It's cool. I could try something like this. I could stop all the arrow stuff and just and it's cool. I could even add I could add one on top, and it's still cool. I could also do that one I did, and I could do something much more crazier than that. No, this one is very out of it. Okay, I could just do something like this and something like this, and also something like that up and something like this, and just put this guy at the center so it balances better, and it's looking all fine. So you just play with your creativity here. It's not a client's job, it's your personal project, it's your carousel. So you could play around, laugh and do it. Don't get so hard on yourself. Just catch fun. You could even make some stick men around. You could make stick men pointing to the next slide, something like that, and it's all cool. You could make a very fine girl, and it's cool. Just play around. It's yours. Play around it. So I think we're done with that. Nothing difficult. You know, these ones are just text, and just place an image, and Gaussian blur the image 99.5.8 pixels. Same thing, place an image below this guy and motion blur the image. 30 distance with angle of -9. Nothing again, just nothing difficult. It's just as simple as this same. And every of these texts were placed in left alignment except the last page that was placed in center alignment. That's how I keep all my last pages on my IG carousel. I use this same text and place them on center alignment. So there's nothing much difficult about what was done there. So I'll quickly drop some tips with us, in creating carousel. So just as I said, number 1 tip, make sure your cover image is catchy enough to draw the attention of your users or your readers. Make sure your cover image is beautiful enough to draw their attention. 1. Number 2 tip, make sure you have your brand name on it and also your social media handles on it, so that if somebody screenshotted them and placed them on their WhatsApp status or wherever, they could link back to your social media handle. Okay, tip number 3, for illusion's sake, to give that illusion that it's actually a carousel that moves, make sure you overlap images on 2 or between 2 slides, like this one, as I overlapped the image between 2 slides. And also make sure you play with background cutting before the next slide, something like this. This background didn't reach the next slide, I could cut it here or make it past the next slide, so it gives that illusion when you are using when you are on IG. It gives that illusion. So these things are important. Number 3 or 4, I've lost count. Make sure your slide do not exceed 10. Once your slide starts exceeding 10, it gets boring to read. This is even the first slide I did that actually reached 10 slides. Most of the time my carousel stops at 8.7. So the shorter your carousel, the better for your readers, because the more lengthy they are, the more tiring they become. Number 5 tip, make sure you play with some little comedy. People like reading something very interesting, and don't just write boring or technical talks or stuff. Just play around with some little comedy. Number 6 tips, number 5, today is the day I lose so much count. Okay, you keep counting for me while I keep saying the tips. This tip is very much important. I talked about playing with some comedy in the previous tip. Please make sure your carousel has so much value to give, so when one takes his or her time reading through them, after some minutes, let the person go home with something worth it. Let it have value. Don't just create carousel for creating sake. It doesn't make sense. Don't create carousels for creating sake. Make sure you give people things to talk about, give people things to discuss about. Let me quickly run to my IG. Let people have things to talk about on your carousel, so they can actually communicate with you, and make sure you always feedback them when they drop comments on the carousel. Another tip is, make sure your texts are easy to read. They are legible enough for the eyes to see. Don't use tiny text, and don't use very big texts. It's crazy. And make sure you use a font that is easy to read. Just like this carousel, I said, do not write script font using uppercase letters. Please don't write a carousel, don't use a carousel, or don't create a carousel using script font and you now use an uppercase. It doesn't make sense. Please, these things are very much important. It's good you understand some of these typography rules, so you can easily make a carousel that don't disgust somebody's eye. Have your readers at the back of your mind when making these things. So it's very much important that these tips are followed. It's very much important, please. Now this is the important part of the video, like very much important. There's no point you finish making carousels and you can't share them on IG. So after you're done making your carousel like this, I just went back to the one I've done before, so I didn't complete this one. So after you finish making your carousel like this, it is time to cut and export. Now watch very closely. Simple step to cut your carousel and export them to or share them to your IG account. Now make sure you have those rulers on exactly the way I placed them. Make sure you have those rulers on, very much important. Okay, now come to this tool called the slice tool. On the slice tool, you will see this property bar at the top. Once you select slice tool, you say slice from guides. Let's remove this guide here. so it doesn't spoil stuff. So it's that thing with slice from guides. So once I click this, it cuts my document exactly the way I have these guides, these rulers I placed earlier. Do you get me? Oh, some of them have shifted. So once I click that, it cuts this already. This thing's already splitted. Once if you want to confirm, you see it's already numbered per slide: 08, 09, 10. You see, so automatically that already splitted my carousel into 10 equal sizes. So with that, I come to file, I click on export, and I click save for web legacy. File, export, save for web legacy. Let me just scale this guy down. So if you see, our files are now individual like that. So just click on save, and it saves this file in a folder for us. Let me go here so I don't overwrite my. So I click on save. Fine. So let me pop in that file. So that was the folder we created, new folder. Then these are our files. So it cut them into 10 perfect square, just like how our guide made them. Then these are our files. You see, very perfect. You see it, very perfect. So to upload this guy on IG, you simply create a new post, then click on select from computer, or we just drag and drop. I prefer that better. You simply create a new post, then click on select from computer, or we just drag and drop. I prefer that better. So I just Control A everything to select all, then drag them and drop on IG. Now make sure you go through it to rearrange if there's any issue. Okay, it's well arranged, but let's assume it was not well arranged. So we'll see how, in case if you don't know, just guessing. If you know, good and fine. So you click on this icon here, it shows you the document, so you can click and drag to reorder stuff like this. So you could reorder them if they are not well arranged. Then once you are done, click, then you post as usual. You put, if you want to put a filter, then you type whatever thing you want to type and you share. As simple as that. It becomes simpler this way to make, create and share your carousel on Instagram. So please remember, the knife tool will not do a good job for you if these rulers are not placed on the right places. So it's important that you always place these rulers on the right places, so the knife tool will do a good job for you. This was the one I was working on, so I could still do the same thing. I click on the knife tool and I just say slice from that, and see it splitted them. So that's how the knife tool will work for you. As long as your guides are good and accurate, then you do same thing: file, export, save for web legacy, and you have your files already here. You see, then you save them. So it becomes easier to make carousels with this particular technique. You may have a better technique, you may have a simpler technique, but this technique is what I've been using. It has been working for me without any issues, and I'm sure I believe you learned one or two from today's tutorial. Very lengthy, but I think it has some value packed in it. So guys, with that, we'll come to the end of today's tutorial. It was lengthy, but I'm very sure you learned one or two from it. I'm sure it's value packed. So if you really did learn something from it, I'll implore you to subscribe to our channel and hit on the little bell icon close to the subscribe button, so you will not miss future tutorials like this when we post them. Like, comment. If you have any question, ask me in the comment section. I'll answer as quickly as possible. Continue doing the good work you're doing. Your designs are getting much better. You're getting stronger as a designer. do check us another time. Do check every other videos we have on our channel, and happy designing.